He wasn't necessarily in good shape, and he had this comb over that was rather elaborate. He had this air about him, and he had this confidence that drew me to him. He was who he was. He didn't care.
Dating has moved online more than ever before, which basically means your photos are your first impression these days. A lot of guys are using that fact to show off their six-pack and sexy aesthetic body on their Tinder profile, and then you might ask the question, do you need a six-pack to get laid? In this video we're gonna explore, does body matter for dating, and especially how much does it matter and why? Do women have unattainable beauty standards these days when it comes to choosing a partner? And later we're gonna look at why it is in the interest of fitness YouTubers to make you believe that it is incredibly important to have a six-pack in order to ever have sex again. A strong body matters, right? I mean, it's alpha, you show that you're disciplined, you're able to protect your woman, it looks beautiful. The old Greeks made big statues out of jacked dudes back in the days. So it's kind of primal, right? It's in our DNA, it's in the woman's DNA to be attracted to the guy with the best physique. Also look around, look at the competition. Everybody's having a six-pack now, so it seems. A lot of people are getting into TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, or even just take other type of steroids. A lot of people are just juicing these days. You see it on YouTube videos. People showing off their six-packs are getting crazy reactions. So we have to ask ourselves, are we stuck in a muscle-obsessed society, and are women's standards of what a man is these days also totally unattainable? Are we stuck in a fantasy world where every guy needs a six-pack these days? Now, of course, fitness YouTubers are selling you a dream. If you just had a six-pack, all your problems would go away. Your dad would respect you, your high school bullies would think you're cool, women would approach you, right? Oh, what a great fantasy. You don't have to approach anymore.
Fuck! Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped. Can I?
Of course, your Tinder profile would finally blow up and you would magically get that job promotion that you've been waiting for so long. That's a funny idea, right? Your boss walks past you in the office and he's like, oh, David, I didn't know you have a six-pack. Show me. Damn, bro. That's sick. Come on. Come in my office. Let's talk about that promotion. Or like your mom is just like, I'm sorry, I was screaming at you when you were a child. Now that you're jacked, everything is good. And what else can happen? You walk into a cafe, people are like, oh, come to the front of the line. This guy's jacked. Come on, this one is on me. Don't worry about it. Obviously, that's a great fantasy that fitness YouTubers want you to believe. If you would just buy their training, buy into their brand, they're kind of like taking something healthy, something positive, which is fitness, and are connecting it with all your fears. I have to admit, every YouTuber does that. I'm doing that too, right? I talk about, I don't want you to be lonely. I don't want you to end up without a girlfriend. I don't want you to end up as a virgin. Fitness YouTubers doing the same thing, but they're just attaching it to that one thing, which is, are you jacked or are you not jacked? It's a very binary thing, I would say. They're attaching the binary thing, which is, do you have a six-pack or not, to those deep fears, which is money, women, social status, loneliness, your sexuality, your confidence, your traumas. So you want to be careful about that. Now look, I don't want to shit on fitness YouTubers, right? Like guys like Hamza and Jack, CEO of Testosterone. They're great. They're using their platform to teach their audience to start healthy habits and stop porn and don't start smoking and all that type of stuff. And I think they're doing a great job. But keep in mind, when they promote their huge change that they had, right? The before and after photos, often what they're showing is just like them at 13 or 15 before they hit puberty, and then they're showing themselves at 21, 22. Of course they changed. Everybody changed. I mean, just dig out a child photo of you. I can pull up how I looked as a child. Everybody has gains in that time. It's almost like saying I went from a 1-inch cock to a 5-inch cock from the age 3 to the age 15 or something like that. So everybody goes through change. That's literally what the teenage years are for, or what just happens genetically. It doesn't mean they had those mad gains because they have the mad fitness routines. And, you know, if you just buy their program, even if you're 45 years old, within 2 years you will have the same transformation. It's just not true. Also, keep in mind, most fitness YouTubers end up as fitness YouTubers because they're genetically blessed, right? They're often 6 feet tall or taller, even Hamza is. They just have great genetics. It's easier for them to put on muscle, it's easier for them to stay lean. Even their genetics might lead to them just in general being more disciplined or not as keen to fall into other vices or fall into addictions. That's why it was a great career choice for them to become fitness YouTubers, because they're playing on their strengths, which is fair, right? I mean, if you're naturally analytical and really good at coding, or really can look at a chart, and you become a really good trader, you will probably end up in financial markets. And then maybe you want to teach other people and you're going to make a YouTube channel about trading. It doesn't mean you've been a complete idiot and you've never understood charts and you're not analytical at all, but because you learned some hacks, you're suddenly a great trader. So always keep that in mind with most type of YouTubers, especially when it comes to body transformations. They had it just way easier. That's another reason I think why guys like Hamza are winning now, because he's also very vulnerable of certain things. He talked about his male boobs and he opened up about this kind of stuff, which makes him really easy to connect with. So we established that the fitness industry naturally wants you to think that the one solution for everything is becoming aesthetically pleasing to look at. I get it, right? It's confusing. The dating world these days is insane, especially with online apps and constant swiping and all these dopamine hitters, and now even AI. Do we even know anymore who we're talking to? Is it maybe not even a real person? Navigating modern dating landscape is fucking confusing, I admit. That's why I have the Social Academy, where I talk about, especially in Module 2, it's a video course and it has a Module 2, I talk about the 5 elements which describe what actually matters when it comes to attracting women. And I've basically done my own research. I've approached over 3,000 women in real life and I've coached hundreds of guys do the same. And I came to a conclusion and created certain categories of what matters and what doesn't. And we have a social community there. It's called the Digital Tribe, where we talk in a Discord community about dating, about personal development, about making money, about our insecurities in a safe space. So if you're interested in joining the Social Academy, you can click below. So through my research, I learned body matters, but way not as much as you would think. Actually, in the 5 elements, I give it an 8% out of 100 points seduction score. I know plenty of jacked guys who are big, and they don't have girls, or they only have girls who choose them only based on that, right? They never get the girls these guys actually want to get in their life. And I also know plenty of guys who are just average looking, and you look at their girlfriends and they're like, holy shit, there must be something more to them. I'm the same. I'm not quite as tall, definitely not 6 feet. I'm balding already, I'm hiding it now. You know, I have friends like, especially my friend Robbie. He's even a bit chubbier, he's even balding a bit more, and he's with the hottest girls you can imagine. And why is that? Well, if you think about it, it's quite obvious. Girls don't just care about a six-pack, they care about character. Because even if you had a six-pack and I would snap with... I cannot snap with my left hand. I cannot do it with my left. Even if I could snap a finger right now and you magically have a six-pack, you would still be awkward. You would still be unable to touch. You don't know what to text before a date, after a date. You don't even know how to ask her out. At the date, you wouldn't know how to escalate. You don't know when to go for the kiss. You don't know which topics to avoid. You see a hot girl at the metro. You're obviously frozen. You don't know what to do. You see a girl coming out of a coffee shop. You will not approach her. You will just stare at her. Nothing would change really in your social life. The list goes on, right? Just because you have the six-pack, none of the other abilities are suddenly going, you know, from a 0 to a 10 out of 10. That's all things you still have to fix. You cannot expect to just slap a six-pack onto a cringy guy and suddenly he's a ladies' man. I mean, surely it doesn't hurt. Of course, it maybe helps, right? Because obviously the process of you getting there, the process of you becoming athletic and building your body and maybe improving your posture even, right? Maybe your posture is like this because you've been a lot on a computer and your neck is always forward and it looks a bit awkward and you make yourself smaller that way. And then suddenly you open up, you build your back muscles and you walk more like an Adonis. That helps, right? So now we're talking about confidence, posture, the way you present yourself in the world. And that does help with dating. I have actually witnessed here and there the guys who only work on their body but ignore everything else. They get picked up quickly by a woman who is like kind of capitalizing on the fact that the guy doesn't know yet that he's hot. Might seem weird, but trust me, don't fall into the trap of working out really hard and then starting to monogamously dating the first girl who approaches you or who's trying to lock you in. But you might say, but Alex, there's these Conor Murphy videos where he's taking off his shirt and then girls are like licking it and touching it and they're amazed. It's like, yeah, but you're missing the point. He is approaching them. He's taking initiative. He's very funny. He's very smiling. He doesn't give a even when girls are like trying to diss him or attack him, he doesn't give a So he's very strong in his character. He obviously has a lot of social status. He has a camera pointed at him, which, you know, maybe he's even showing them before what the channel is about or how many subscribers he has, which then status comes in the game. So you are only seeing the six-pack. I'm seeing all the 7 other things he worked on by becoming more confident, becoming a YouTuber, becoming famous, that the girls are attracted to. So why is social confidence so important? I mean, muscles and a strong body being in warrior shape is good for war, but most of the time we're not in war. Most of the time we work together, we collaborate, we're in a time of peace, politics, diplomacy. And women know that too, right? Yes, they think a sexy body is sexy, but when it comes to choosing a partner, actually, you know, picking someone and going into a longer relationship, they want to not have the guy who can smash the other guy's head. They want the guy who can organize 10 warriors into an army or organize 10 people who are strong and aggressive in building something productive or working for him or turning them into his employees. So the myth that, you know, we come from the strongest, toughest guy and our ancestors were the big bullies, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it was the smart ones who, sure, used their body in an elegant, smart way, but mainly they used their brain to collaborate, to make peace, to network, to outsmart people, to be maybe a bit sneaky. And therefore, women care way more about who you are, how you go through the world, how you act, how you present yourself, than how you look. I mean, think about it. That's real power. Being able to use your brain to manifest things into the world and tell other people what to do and manipulate people in a good or a bad way is such a more powerful ability than only using your body, your strength. So you might say now, oh good Alex, I don't need to go to the gym, right? I can just be myself. No bro, of course not. You still suck. You still didn't do all the things I listed before. You're still not approaching because you're too scared or you're hesitant, which I understand, been there before. You don't know when to go for the kiss, you don't know what to text, you're awkward. When you stand in front of a really hot girl, you change your behavior. Believe it or not, if you don't believe it, watch this other video I made about that. You're just not there yet. You just haven't built your personality yet. You haven't gone to the social gym enough, right? Like, think about it. I love this comparison with how calibrated women are when it comes to their social abilities versus men. Think about a woman who realizes she's hot at age 15 and now she's, let's say, 21. That's 6 years. That's about 2,000 days of going outside every day and constantly getting positive reference experiences that she's attractive in a gentleman way, but often in a cringy, awkward, aggressive way. So she really learns how to navigate the world. You don't know any of that. You are watching this at 21, 26, 31, 41 even. How many days have you gone out and constantly interacted with the women you're attracted to? Just think about your last 14 days. How much female attention did you get? How much female interaction did you have? How many minutes did you spend communicating with women that you would want to get laid with? Pause and tell me the number right now into the screen. And are you happy with that number? So of course, you cannot just be yourself. Yourself is what got you here. Yourself is what got you to this video. Yourself is making you watch this because you're not happy with the dating life you're getting currently. So yes, you have to improve a lot. You have to work hard. You should join the social academy or do something else. Just go out and say hi to a girl today, please. Once you handle that, and it won't happen tomorrow, it won't happen next week, but you can make huge differences in 1, 2, 3 months, and especially in 2 or 3 years. then women will understand. They will see this guy's a man, he has power, he's handling himself well. And of course, along the way, work out, build your body, it feels amazing. Why not, right? There's literally no excuse these days. Hire a personal trainer, eat the right food, download one of Hamza's or the other dudes' fitness guide. Why not? Like it's great to look good, but remember, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your male network, right? The men around you respect you more in general when you look jacked. I just see it in my own friend circle. I don't really have fat friends. It is what it is. But don't think it will automatically get you laid. As I mentioned in module 2 of the Social Academy, I talk about the 5 elements. Element number 1 is charisma. It makes up about 50% of your seduction score. It's separated into 5 subsections. I can tell you one of them is approaching, another one is communication, another one is sexual escalation. So when all of these things you're hearing now and you're like, I'm not good at any of these particularly, no problem, right? I made a whole video course on that, plus homework missions. So I created short little videos that make you take action, that make you go out, and that make you report about the progress in the Discord community so we can review it, we can encourage you, we can give you feedback. I love this structure, and if you want to check it out, the link is below. It's not for free, it's $27 a month. I think that's a fair price. It's less than a Tinder subscription. If this is too much for you, no problem. Just keep watching the free content on YouTube. Let me know what else you want to hear about it in the comments. And just understand it's a long journey, you know? Don't buy into any short fixes, please. You cannot get a six-pack in a week, and you don't really want to. The progress of getting somewhere is also the beauty of the journey. Your first approach is cringy, is hard, is challenging, is facing your demons. The 100th one still is, but it gets easier and easier, and it can become really fun, and you can find joy in the process. So follow me on this journey, and I'll see you on the next video.